Hi everyone, and welcome back to OpenTTD with me, Tommy P. Last time round, we finally managed to finish off our central passenger line services. However, there were a few bits and bobs that I needed to do. So, as always, Mr. Tommy P has been a very busy man off camera. So, the first thing to note, around the northern circular line that we set up here, I have now added all of the bus stations and services to these towns that we've connected up via the rail service here. And you'll notice here in Batwood, I have done a little homage to our good friend Mr. Bruce Wayne, and we have Wayne Enterprises. Yeah, so all of those have been connected up. I've also set up a couple of city to city connections here at Dumpbridge. We also have this very beautiful coastal bus route from Sindhatton to Suthill, and quite interestingly, the bus that travels upon this road is one of the new buses that's come into play quite recently, and that does 115 miles an hour. Yes, a bit of a hell ride down the coast there to Suthill. I've also added in a new ferry service. There was this little town here, Fuston, very small town, only 234 residents living here, but I have connected up a small ferry service from Wayward to Fuston. I mentioned that I hadn't done any sort of balancing for quite some time, so I have reviewed all the passenger and freight services that were existing across the entire network. Passengers was really the only one that needed any focus across both trains and buses. Our existing cargo network down on the east coast is actually perfectly balanced, which is nice to see. The bus services in particular are now getting extremely difficult to balance. So really the way that I'm doing that now is I'm not really looking at each individual service. I'm literally just looking through the road vehicles grouping list, and any that have just got the gold coin I'm not even bothering to look at. Any with a green plus sign, I am looking at that and seeing if we needed to add in any new services. And then if there are any with a negative profit coin here, again I've been looking at that, and in most cases with services in the likes of these towns, I've been changing those vehicles to have low running costs vehicles running those services to hopefully make them profitable again. As far as our train passenger services go, we have done a couple of bits here. I am in the middle of updating all of these sort of older express sprinters to the new Electrostar, which we used in the northern circular passenger line and the southeast circular passenger line. So they'll all be getting upgraded quite soon. Back to some of the road vehicles. I mentioned that I was trying to be a little bit more environmentally friendly after all the terraforming and such that I've been doing over the last few episodes. I did have a call from Greenpeace. They weren't very happy, so I have now updated all of our taxis to a hybrid taxi to try and make Fast Track and the world that it lives in a greener place. On our plane services, I have upgraded all of our passenger aeroplanes from Boeing 747s to this Airbus A380, which has much higher capacity, as the volume of passengers, so here at Wayward International, nearly 6,500 waiting there, and down in Padston, nearly 5,000 passengers. So that did need a bit of a vehicle upgrade there. I have also added in quite a few new airports as well. Let me get the right thing here. So yeah, we have quite a small little airport here at Wunton. I've added a airport down here in Semphingley. And I've also added one to this town up here called Lardston, which eventually will form part of our West Coast passenger line. And what I've also done with aircraft, I remembered that obviously we down here in New Floodwood, obviously we have our ammonia plant and rather large station here, which is part of our cargo network. I remember that we have this airport here, and when I looked at the coverage, it does actually cover the town as well. So I thought, how are the good folks of this ammonia plant here going to get to work from maybe the likes of Wayward? So they now can get their own private jet into work. So yeah, so we do have some passenger flights coming into here. Predominantly I've used the A380, as I say, but on some of the smaller towns like New Floodwood here, and also at Wunton, I am also using this Airbus A320. One of the final things as far as aircraft goes is I've now also set up mail. Oh, that's interesting. That actually doesn't have any orders. How's that happened? You're meant to be going from there to there. As you can see, I've only just set these up. These are about to leave the aircraft depot. So good job I spotted that there. I think all these had shared orders, so yeah, that's fine. That's all sorted. But yeah, these are solely mail mail aircraft vehicles, as we've been running passenger flights using the 747, which took a small amount of mail. That has now meant that there is a lot of mail building up at Padston and in Wayward airports, so then that should help to reduce that amount of weight and cargo there, and obviously boost some profits as well. I will likely have to add some similar mail aircraft services to some of the other new airports that we've set up, and at some point in the future I will also look to set up some sort of van mail services in some of these larger existing towns that we have. So that's all everything that I've been doing off camera. I am now happy this is all done, and I'm now keen to push on with trying to get our vehicles cargo supply chain set up, but as you saw in the last video, that is going to be an absolutely huge challenge. So what I've done is, using the spreadsheet that I showed you last time round, I have now set up signs across the entire network, and here at Swiss Tony's car dealership, this will be our end game town for our vehicle cargo chain, because, as everyone should be aware, delivering vehicles to a car dealership is very much like making love to a beautiful woman. And if you don't get that reference, go and watch the Fast Show. So yeah, so Swiss Tony's car dealership is the ultimate aim. But as you see here in the sign list, I've basically gone through and, as I say, using that Excel spreadsheet, I have mapped out where every single cargo type and industry that we're going to need to get this full vehicles cargo chain set up are located. The vast majority of the industries are located probably in the likes of this area of the map here, a little bit down here, and there is the odd industry here as well. As I mentioned, we do have our engineering supplies depot here, which will obviously help to boost some of the primary industries. What I might have to do with that, given that a lot of the primary industries, as I say, are in this sort of area of the map, is I might almost have to create an engineering supplies hub station somewhere around here-ish, which will then be able to be used to distribute engineering supplies across the cargo network, which, as I say, is predominantly going to be in and around this area here. To start with this huge industry chain, and I have to say this is probably going to be the biggest challenge I've ever undertaken in a game of OpenTTD. But yeah, to start off with, one of the main cargoes that are required, let me see if I can find it here. The writing is so small, and yeah, there we are, scrap yards. So scrap metal, which normally comes from a primary industry called a scrap yard, is a cargo that is used by a lot of industries within this chain. However, as you saw there, we only really have kind of, sort of maybe 3-ish of those in and around the area of where we'll be needing to deliver them, and that just isn't going to be enough, even with boosted production from using engineering supplies. There is another way of getting scrap metal, and that's by using a recycling plant, which is shown here, and recycling depots. And again, just showing you how this kind of works on here. Why do we have 2 of those? Resite D4. That one needs to be renamed. Number 8. But yeah, we have this recycling plant here, and we'll be able to use a number of these recycling depots that are in and around that sort of area. These basically produce cargo called recyclables, and the recycling plant makes scrap metal out of that. And we have, as you saw there, we have 8 recycling depots in and around the area of the recycling plant. One of the other good things, and again this is quite a good tip for anyone who's trying to complete a very ambitious cargo chain such as this, one of the other things of setting up these signs in the way that I've done it, and this is a great example here, you'll see that we have a number of industries around here that we'll need to use. What that means is I can kind of work out, so scrap here and bauxite, they're both primary industries, as is nitrates here, as is zinc ore. So when I come to connect those up, as an example, instead of having an individual station, I can have a transfer station here, but I know even if at that point, say I'm not transporting bauxite, then in the future that station could be used for it. So yeah, it's taken me many hours to get all of this set up, but I think all that prep work and planning will pay off in dividends at the end. So let's kick off with our vehicles cargo chain, starting with the recycling plant. And because, again, like we've done in several other places on the cargo network, because this will be receiving recyclables but then taking out scrap metal, I'm going to make this a sort of 2-stage platform, one for the incoming goods and one for the outgoing goods. So we'll get cracking with that. We'll get ourselves, what shall we use here? We'll go with, I think we'll go with a heavy freight here. And as always, we'll be back to train length of 8 for these stations. And as always, I'll be jazzing these up at a later date. We'll have our secondary station coming off here. We'll just doesn't mean to do that. My finger slipped. And connect that up to Tinwood Heights. So I think I say this will be our outbound. Why are you not working? There we go. And that's coming out. Oh dear. Very nice. Right, so we just go back. Oh dear, we've had a plane crash. Oh, this is not good. Padston. I don't even know what plane that was. Let's pull that. Oh, at Lardston. Oh. That wasn't my fault. Oh, now this plane can't land. Anywho, we'll just ignore those deaths and move on, as you do. Yeah, so we've got our recycling depot, sorry, our recycling plant here now. I think what we'll do is we'll start to connect up these 3 here first, and then these here, and then finally I think this one here, which will actually mean that we'll probably need 4 platforms going in here actually. One will be inbound from this side of the map, which will be that one there, and then we'll have another one which will be inbound from this side. So we'll get that sorted now. Save us a little bit of time in the future. That's you all done. I originally said that I thought this cargo chain might take us 10 or possibly even 15 episodes to set up. I think in hindsight now that is a little ambitious. I'm estimating this is actually going to take probably at least 20 episodes, if not more, to get our vehicles to Swiss Tony's car dealership. Hopefully things won't get too boring for you guys, and hopefully this will, as I mentioned before, really goes to show how in depth this XIS set is. One of the other things to note with these recycling depots is that they are actually linked, their production is linked to the town population, so it's proportional to town population, and this particular one is associated with Grindhead here. So one of the other things I'm going to be doing is to set up a couple of bus routes here just to help the town start to grow a little bit, because as this grows, production here will grow. It's a cool little feature. We'll just quickly get those set up there, and this one will just go by running costs. It'll be pretty slow at first. Yeah, I haven't actually used this Ford Transit eKinetic in another city, which is, I say city, another town that was quite small. So I think we'll actually we'll go with there. And my goodness, we have another plane crash. at Lardston. I might have to rename this place the Town of Death. 300 grand a pop. That's not good for profits either. Never mind the loss of life. Anywho, we'll go back to here. Yeah, so we'll use this 4-transit Ethernet. It's like one of those little day rider minibuses that elderly people like to take to go to the shops. I won't bother setting up the groups. My word, look at them go. They do have a top speed of 70 miles an hour, these. Okay, so we're going to pop a station in here. Just having a look. The line will come down. Yeah, let's go back here and just sort of zoom out. Yeah, so we need to go this way around. Need to be careful here. This metal fabrication plant is one of the final industries in the overall vehicles chain. So, we don't want to go too close to that. Yeah, I think we'll go this side of it. Okay, and yeah, I think we'll tunnel through here and then come in this way. That looks a good plan. You to come out this way. And actually, initially, I don't know whether to set this up as an 8 tile. It's going to be some time before this will grow. And yeah, I'm actually wondering whether I should connect that in using almost like a junction. Yeah, I think we will do that. Let's just see where we bring that around, and then we build we'll probably go with a tunnel here underneath, and then we'll just create a junction. Yeah, I think I will go with an 8. Yeah. So at least it's done then. We don't have to worry about it in the future. And so I'll come out there. And we'll so that will be the incoming. And as always, likely this line will end up probably getting upgraded, but I'm not quite sure at which points of the overall network yet that will be needed. So for now, we'll have to come all the way out here. So yeah, so we'll leave a sufficient gap either side to allow for that. And I don't know why I ended up putting 2 tunnels in there. Well, no, it won't. We'll bring you along here and then join back in there. And again, there's plenty of room here for the expansion if required. And we'll throw a depot in. And our usual signals. I'm just wondering whether that's... I suppose that's going to be the only way around. Yeah, no, that's fine. I suspect these recyclable vehicles will be pretty quick. Oh, what's this coming onto screen? Oh, that's probably just going to go and destroy yet more of our infrastructure. Where are you going? We won't worry about him too much for now. It's not like we don't have enough money to replace anything that it does intend to destroy. Just checking here. Yeah. We'll throw those on the tunnel. Back in there. And one down there. There. We'll get a vehicle going. As I mentioned, the production here is pretty poor, really, to be fair. One of the things we might find along the way is that some of these routes won't actually make a profit, but as I mentioned before in the last episode, the vehicles, where are we? Payment rates are absolutely huge. So even if we do make a little bit of a loss, we can suffer that in some of the other routes further back down the chain. I need to find recyclables. Okay, so there is a bit of a drop off, but nothing too horrendous there. So let's have a look at what carries these. We'll go by max speed. A hopper, that seems a bit of a strange thing to be carrying recyclables in. I don't think we'll be using that. Monster box. 25 tons. That's 70. So I think we'll. So we know it's 70 miles an hour is what we need. Let's look by tractive effort here. Wow, that is pretty powerful. Yep, I think we'll go with this one. The monster box. I think, in all fairness, whilst the distance is, yeah, I think we'll probably only need a couple of those. And into Trinidad Heights. And unload ore. And that's that one away. So whilst the journey will be long to get vehicles cargo produced, that journey has now begun, and I think that's where we'll call it for today, guys. So thanks for watching. We'll carry on with this next time, but you can catch me then. But until then, this is Tommy P signing off.